Hiruko the Goblin is one of the earlier Shin'ya Tsukamoto films in his lineup, Tsukamoto being a director I've covered on the channel in a video called Solid Metal Nightmares. There will be a link in the description to that video if you want to check that one out later. In the video I went through the Shin'ya Tsukamoto box set Solid Metal Nightmares put out by Arrow Video, which is a collection of Tsukamoto's films, but it's missing a few. A couple of those missing from the set have been put out by Mondo Macabro, Gemini, and now Hiruko the Goblin. I wasn't able to get Gemini and Mondo's limited red case, but I was quick enough to get Hiruko in the red case, so that's pretty cool. Tsukamoto has become one of my favorite directors. I still have a couple of his films to get to, but Hiruko is the 10th film of his I've seen, and I've been able to find something to enjoy in every single one of them. Hiruko follows an archaeologist, that is a hard word for me to say, who receives a letter from an old colleague. This colleague and a student go missing after exploring a tomb, and the missing professor's son and his friends are looking for him and the student. When the boy is about to be attacked by something, the archaeologist shows up and saves him. The archaeologist believes a goblin is loose and the two must find everyone and solve the issue. It's a pretty simple story, but it's told pretty effectively. If you've seen some of Tsukamoto's other films, Hiruko the Goblin stands out, but not in the sense that you think it would. It stands out because it's a pretty straightforward standard horror film that, while yes it has many Tsukamoto-isms, it doesn't feel like a true Tsukamoto film. The style is probably better compared to something like Evil Dead or San Raimi rather than Tetsuo or Tsukamoto. However, this is still a really fun, bloody horror film with some great direction. It may not have that frantic energy of Tsukamoto's other works, but he still put together a pretty fun and campy flick here. There's a lot of use of puppetry because the goblin basically decapitates everyone, and then their heads grow like these spider legs and run around. It's really fun and really well done. There's a good amount of blood spraying all over the place, and I really loved the goblin POV shots, which is kind of what put me in mind so much of the Evil Dead, because it feels very similar to the POV shots there. This is a pretty simple story that can be pretty predictable at times, but I don't think this is a film that's trying to be anything more than what it is. It knows its tone as to be a goofy horror film, but it does build some good characters, especially the lead boy Masao, who is the missing professor's son. The film adds in some ancient lore that's fun, but it's nothing special, and our two leads that get almost all the screen time both do a great job. There's a lot to enjoy here, but there are some things I found to be a little off-putting. For one, the music. Oh man, is the music terrible. Almost all the music feels like it's ripped from a PBS show that's just thrown over top of this horror comedy. Even one that's as goofy as this is, the music is just super unfitting. Like, I feel like I should be learning something about 90s libraries or something when this music plays. They do have this one song where the girl goblin would sing it, and it's fine for what they're trying to do with it, but the rest of the music's pretty bad. There's also this one scene with green screened heads and fire that you can see the matting on the flames, which is hilarious, but also really bad. The film did feel somewhat anticlimactic because most of the movie is them trying to survive, but when it comes to figuring out how to solve the problem, they find the solution very conveniently and they kind of just fix the problems with ease that left it feeling somewhat anticlimactic. Other than that though, Hiruko the Goblin is a really fun time that feels different for a Tsukamoto outing. In that video I did about the box set, I did rank his films from my favorite to least, and with Hiruko I would probably put it somewhere around Tokyo Fist, maybe below Tokyo Fist. It's a solid film that I would definitely recommend. I think if you wanted to get into Shin'ya Tsukamoto specifically, I would probably recommend some of his other films first, but if you're looking for a fun Japanese horror flick with a good amount of comedy to it, then definitely give Hiruko the Goblin a shot. The Mondo Macabro transfer looks absolutely amazing as a transfer, and I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10.